Tonight, reaction from two liberal pundits. Joining us now from Reno, Nevada, Dick Harpootlian, chairman of the Democratic Party in South Carolina, and from Los Angeles, Fox News contributor Leslie Marshall. So you're going to condemn this, Leslie?
No, I'm not, Bill. First Amendment aside, because quite frankly, although I don't believe we're a nation of terrorists, and I don't believe all of the wording of both of these writings, I do believe that 9/11 had both a uniting and a dividing effect, and that is sad. I do believe it is wrong, whether for political gain or for profit, left or right, to profit politically, like I said, or financially, from the pain and the death and out of homage, if nothing else, to the victims' families for 9/11. And we saw politicians do it on both left and right, how many book deals and movies and made-for-TV specials there were. I think it's essential that the American people know how everyone feels and arrive at their own decisions. So I personally would not condemn.
Well, he's not getting into the economics of the matter, Krugman. He's flat out saying that our reactions to protect the American people, and remember, Leslie, President Obama has kept in place most of the Bush anti-terror methods, Guantanamo Bay, rendition, all of those, okay? So I'm surprised that you're not condemning this rhetoric that puts the American society, puts us all in the position of being terrorists and shameful. I'm not ashamed of our reaction after 9/11. Are you, Mr. Harpootlian? Are you ashamed of America's reaction after 9/11? Are you?
Well, I'm not ashamed at all, and Bill, you described me as a liberal pundit. I'm chairman of the South Carolina Democratic Party. I just got back from a DNC meeting in Chicago, the annual meeting. I didn't hear anybody there condemning the United States on the from the Democratic Party perspective.
Okay, then why I didn't hear? Wait, one more minute. That may be true, but I don't hear anybody condemning from the Democratic Party, condemning Krugman and this other guy for their rhetoric. They don't. They just ignore it. They don't
let
say
me be
a word.
the first. Let me be the first.
Right,
I think that what they said is wrong. I think their perspective on this is almost bitter. And we've got to understand that our president, Barack Obama, is the guy that took Osama bin Laden out of the picture by having him shot and killed. Now, I would say that's a pretty aggressive, a pretty finite and pragmatic move on his part. This is war, and in war, some bad things happen.
But look, the prevailing wisdom, though, on the far left, not the left, and there is a distinction, and I'm glad you made it, Mr. Harpootlian. The prevailing wisdom on the far left, and this is embraced by elements at the New York Times, NBC News all day long, is that we are a terrorist nation, that we should be ashamed of our conduct. And that's what I'm trying to get at here. Leslie's not condemning it. You are. All right. Now, Leslie, are you further left than Mr. Harpootlian? Is that why you're not condemning it?
No, Bill, I think I'm more of one of the moderate lefties. I don't have that many people.
Well, then why is Mr. Harpootlian condemning it and you're not?
Because I don't condemn a person's right in the United States to be angry at their nation, because that changes the dynamic of America compared to the world.
You condemn their words. I didn't condemn these people. I said what they're doing is misguided. All right? And it's dangerous.
But I don't agree. I don't agree because,
you don't
quite
agree
frankly,
with what they're doing is misguided? You don't think they're misguided?
I don't agree with 100% of their opinion, and yes, some of what they've said is misguided. I do think, Bill, that many of us became finer human beings toward each other as Americans and as people after 9/11, but even though it's the minority of people, there are a small group of people, which you did say are dangerous, that is not the case for. There is further and more discrimination and prejudice, not only against Muslims, but people of color and foreigners. We've had more division among politics in our country, and that, to me, is not healthy, and I think that was addressed.
Leslie. I mean, I think you're in the ozone on this one. Mr. Harpootlian, is this going to be an issue for the Democratic Party? Because the loudest voices are the Krugmans, the Joy Behars, the Bill Maher's, the Michael Moores. These are the loudest voices, and you get tarred with that brush.
Bill, you're wrong about that. Again, I just attended a meeting in Chicago for 2 days with every member of the Democratic National Committee and big Democrats. There wasn't any Michael Moore there. There wasn't any Paul Krugman there. The voice of the Democratic Party is far more moderate than you give it credit for. And to pull people like Krugman out and say he's a Democrat or he's somebody associated with Barack Obama or his party is absolutely wrong. I am a former prosecutor. I put people in the electric chair. I have a gun. I believe in capital punishment. I believe in this war on terror, and I'm a Democrat.
All right. Well, but your voice has got to be louder then to at least
I'm
compete with the
I'm
others. All right. Well, that's why we have you on. All right. Thanks very much. Very interesting debate. We appreciate it. Next on the Rundown, the American Jobs Act.